Hello comrades, welcome back to Jacob's Custom Gunworks. Today I decided to make it a 1911 range day, so here we are, we got four 1911s on the table. I have one in 38 Super, two in 45 Auto, and one in 10mm Auto, so I figured I'd come out today and do a little shooting because it's a beautiful Memorial Day Monday. Other than I got a little bit of a slight breeze going on and a plane that keeps buzzing us over, we're going to go ahead and shoot. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start with the 38. And once we get done shooting, we'll talk about each one of these guns and why they kind of hold a special place in my heart. So here we go. Let's do it. 38 Super Auto. This is a Rock Island Amory 1911 A1. Yeah, let's shoot it. Be shooting these one-handed because I was a dumbass and I forgot to grab my camera stand. So apologies, but hopefully you can kind of get an idea. And I got a target down there. But quite honestly, it's just for something to aim at. 38 Super Auto is a super light recoiling gun. Unfortunately, the ammunition's a little harder to come by nowadays. It's a great competition caliber, and that's what this gun originally was. So let's move on to another one. So here is my Frankenstein 1911 and 45 Auto. I've already done a video on this. I've done a little bit different with it. I switched the grips out, and I put a compensator on it just for fun. So let's go ahead and shoot that bad boy. All right. All right. With the compensator, it actually adds a lot of recoil reduction to this gun. May not seem it, but it works really well, but it also makes it loud as hell. This gun is actually working really well now. Before it was kind of getting finicky, but now it seems to shoot just fine. Okay, up next we got a Springfield Armory Operator. This gun is actually fairly new to me, so I've only put 2 magazines worth of ammo through it, so we'll see how she runs. Alright. Believe it or not, I've actually hit the target a couple of times. I know it may not seem it, but like I say, we're just here to out showing these off, having a little fun. So let's move on to the beast, the 10mm Auto. So Rock Island Amory here, 10mm Auto. This is the Tact II. This is the gun I carry in bear country. This or a 357, or if I decide the crazy freaking 44 Desert Eagle I've got. So let's shoot this guy. I'm going to shoot this one a little slower because it does have more recoil. All right. And yeah, we're empty. All right, so yeah, not a little slower. I tried to slow down, but these things are just way too much fun to shoot. All right, so let's talk about these a little bit while we're out here. So here is the 38 Super Auto. This gun, or this caliber, was developed in the early days to punch through car blocks, engine blocks, and car doors in like the 20s and 30s during the original gangster era. Very, very potent caliber, good substitute for if you say, no, you don't have a 10mm. However, like I said, ammunition's a little harder to come by. This was my 3-gun competition gun for quite a while, and it had the compensator that is now on this guy on here and some other parts. My wife got me this gun when we got married, and I really wanted the nickel-plated one, and they were sold out, so she found this one, and I've loved it ever since. And the very first thing I did when I got it, and I was learning about gunsmithing and pistol smithing and whatnot, is I completely tore this gun apart, and every single part in it, minus the frame, the trigger, the slide, and the barrel, are all now Wilson Combat, and it just runs. It's a really light recoiling gun. It's just, everybody that shoots it, that I hand it to, absolutely falls in love with it. Very cool, super happy to own this, and I'll probably never ever get rid of it because my wife will probably scout me if I do. Ammunition, like you say, hard to come by. It's out there, it's expensive, but it is hard to come by, so keep that in mind. But if you can find one of these, and you can get a couple of boxes of ammo for it, do. They're fun, you won't regret it. Alright, my Frankenstein gun. I'm not going to go over this in super detail because, quite honestly, I already have on a bench video, a tabletop video. The grips to this are not what was on here originally in the video. They actually belong to that guy there, the operator. I switched these out because I do like these Pachmayr grips. Eventually this will get those again, but these aren't terrible grips. I do like them. They're kind of like a G10, almost like a scallop grip, and they feel comfortable in the hand, but I did switch those out. I did, like I say, put the compensator on there just for fun because I really wanted an excuse to use it. I did switch the springs out, and that helped significantly, and it is running the original Springfield barrel that was on this previously, and it runs great, so super happy with that build. The Springfield operator is actually really new to me. I've only had it for a couple of weeks now. A buddy of mine ended up with 2 of them, and after a little horse trading, I ended up with the other one. So it's been a really, really fun gun. I've got a TLR 7X light on it just for fun. Does have a rail underneath it, obviously. These grips, these Pachmayr grips, I can't speak more highly of them. I love these. They give you a really good purchase on the firearm. But this is, other than the hybrid one, or my Frankenstein gun, the first Springfield Amory I've ever owned, complete. And the only thing that I've done to it is I've added a guide rod, as you can see. I left the factory spring alone. I also, let me move around to the other side here, added an extended slide release. I kind of do that with most of my 1911s. And the grips, and that's it. Everything else on here is factory. I haven't actually adjusted the trigger or anything else on it just because it shoots so well. Really like this gun. Again, I was really looking for something else. This happened to come up. I'm not dissatisfied with this at all. I'm actually very happy. Springfield operator. Kind of always wanted one, especially kind of giving me that Metal Gear Solid 4 vibe, so pretty cool there. Lastly, we're going to move on to my 10mm auto. This gun here, again, is the gun I pack around at Bear Country. If I don't have this, I generally have a 357 of some kind, or if needs prevail, and now that I have that goofy 44 Desert Eagle, I can carry that as well, but I prefer this 10mm auto. I'm only shooting 180 grain full metal jackets out of this today, but I have 220 grain hard cast barrel loads for that reason, but there's so many variants of the 10mm auto out now, and polymer frames and double stacks, and you know what you see here, that it's really terrible, and not a terrible caliber of choice at all, especially if you don't want anything crazy. If you were listening to the video, and hopefully it picks up in the audio, there is a sound difference. At least I have ear pro in my ears and I can hear it, so hopefully that picked up. I'll have to watch this video afterwards just for fun, but a very good compromise if you want an auto-loading gun and a caliber that is going to help you against very large creatures. One of my favorites. I used to have a 357 Magnum Taurus, the tracker, and the ported version, and it was a great range gun. I also admittedly have never fired it in a canyon, and the first time that I did, and my ears were ringing so hard and I was just kind of dizzy, I got rid of it and I bought this, and I haven't looked back since. So anyway, just going to run a couple of mags through them here today. Figured I would share a video real quick because I haven't been doing that because I've been kind of being a slave to my cars lately. But anyway, there you are. Until next time, comrades.